It comes through Restream, just showing up as Dark Side of the Podcast. Eh. I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome to the podcast where we strive to take the mystery out of cryptocurrency. And thank you. Rationality, objectivity, no hype, just the way we see the market and what we do with it. I am your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who has won and sadly lost fortunes. And joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, Belle. How are you doing this morning, Belle?
Oh, it's been a very busy day so far, Scott. So yeah, a little buried, but otherwise great. How are you today, Scott?
Oh, I'm wonderful. All I gotta say, we're gonna have a fun little show here. Our focus here at the podcast is on education and information, leaving the hype at the door because that's where it belongs. We are about innovation and focusing on the products that bring it to the market, hobby or business. And if you can't answer that question, we will not be discussing that project. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get to work. Welcome to crypto and welcome to the podcast. And thank you. So I'm not exactly sure about that flow. I've been doing the same program intro for about 2.5 years, but some things are going to change here, guys. I just want to give you a little bit of programming note before we actually get into it. I have, we've lost you. That's on us. It has nothing to do with you guys. It has everything to do with us. We got stale. We did the same thing over and over and over. And it turns out that people get bored. People move on. But you know what? I'm going to get you back. The lost sheep, the lost podcast sheep. I'm going to get you back, and we're going to grow it. We have a good idea. We have a good plan. And we're going to start executing that plan. Starting with the lunchtime streams very, very soon here. I've decided everything lined up, so we're going to be doing this full time. This will be my focus, and with that, I'm going to be able to bring you a better, more structured show. It's going to be going off the same time during the week, lunchtime, every week, and every day, Monday through Friday, and Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays are still going to be the big live streams. So hope you guys can join us for those. Crypto changes fast, and it does change hour to hour. I see no harm in going live twice a day on a few particular days. And yeah, we're going to be doing that as well. So as our focus here on the main YouTube channel is, as I alluded to, education and information. All right. The money streams are going on the Patreon. That's it. Anything that we do say, some things that we do say, things we say here end up on other Reddits. I don't want to cross those streams. I simply don't. So the money streams, when I'm making big purchases, where I'm going, what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, that stuff is still going to be there. It's going to be over on the Patreon. We made it as cheap as we could, $3 a month. That's it. That is as cheap as we can make it. And I'm pretty sure that you guys have been with us for a while. You know we don't do this for the money. But we do want to bring you a good show. We want to keep it quality. And the only way I can really do that is by separating the shows. So that's big programming note number one. Programming note number two. We've recently entered into a partnership, so we expect to see some new folks coming over here. And if we do have new folks, we want to make sure that we're bringing them a consistent show. So that's going to be programming note number two, and I'm sure you guys might get a fit and feel for it. So for the short shows, these lunchtime shows here, man, look, I don't have time to monologue. We have to get right into it. And we are starting right now with prop number 791. Now, I've been in crypto for a long time. Bell's been in crypto for a long time. The entire podcast team, and most likely you, if you're watching this, have been in crypto for a long time. I'm a huge advocate of going out and voting, because this is your money that we're talking about. This affects your wallet. This affects what you do, how you do it, everything. So even if you choose not to vote, at least be aware of what's happening on the chains that you support. In this particular one, I have a big problem with this. Now, this is proposal number 791, the Legal Defense Fund proposal, and it reads thusly. Now, everybody has access to it. It's not like I have something special. Go to your wallet, hit stake. You know what? We'll go through it right now. How about that? Just to make sure that everybody knows. I cheated out, and I'll go to stake, and then I will come to Cosmos, and I will hit governance, and oh, look, there it is. So everybody has access to this. Pay attention to what's going on the chains that you are supporting, because they're talking about your money. They are affecting your money. So you need to be aware of what's coming up. Now, if there's ever going to be any kind of wild change or dipping into the community fund, that's also your money because you're in the community. It's going to show up here. So please be informed. And if you simply can't, you don't have the time, don't worry. We're going to take care of that for you. That's another programming note. We're going to be bringing you a lot more of the propositions, because I think it's important. And again, it is educational. Now, this one is nice and simple. And it starts right here on March 23rd. All In Bits Incorporated filed a legal complaint against Grace Yu, a former All In Bits contractor, for the alleged breach of a mutual non-disparagement clause. AIB seeks damages to be determined at trial and asks the amount be not less than $150,000. So somebody, a member of the Cosmos, and I'm not going to take all that stuff apart, but it's kind of like a big contributor, founding, we're talking about somebody higher up the food chain, is getting sued by a former person that they used to work for, in this case, All In Bits. Now, that by itself is not a huge deal, man. This is crypto, and people sue. We are a very litigious society. People sue people all the damn time. I have no particular issue with the lawsuit. This sounds like a you thing. This sounds like a issue between this particular person and a former entity that they used to do business with. That's what it sounds like. However, with this proposal and the way it's put up, this is no longer just going to be a them problem. This is going to be a you problem, because what the proposal actually is. Now, what they're asking for is 50,000 Atom from the community fund. That's 50,000 Atom, approximately $600,000 at current market value. And Make no mistake, this atom will be immediately liquidated. Immediately liquid. Well, it's liquidated in 2 stages, but the first 25,000 is going to be liquidated, turned into USDC. That USDC is going to be turned over to Grace's law firm that they pick up. So this becomes your problem, because this is called sell pressure on the token. Now, I understand that there's a lot. I understand that there's plenty. It should be able to take it, no problem. That's not the issue. The issue is, how is this your problem? That's the issue. You had nothing to do with this. You had nothing to do with either of these entities, but suddenly this is your issue. I take tremendous amount of issue with that, because now you're talking about my money, and I own a lot of Atom. So, yes, I take issue with this. This is not my problem. Now, I love some of the stuff that they put into this. This is it. So, if anybody doesn't know what a false equivalency is, I'm about to demonstrate it. While we recognize that the values of the cosmos may not appear coherent at first glance, there is a fundamental alignment that we all share. This alignment is the inalienable right to freedom of speech and the freedom of expression. I respect that. I'm a libertarian. I've never walked away from that. I am all about I'm all about freedom of speech. I am all about you do you, bro. That's it. That's it for me. But to say that because you and I both believe in free speech, that I should cover your legal costs, I think that's a bridge too far, and I think that that's a bridge way too far. The community fund is not a piggy bank. The community fund is not for just people to willy-nilly say, oh, hell, I'm in trouble, I need some money, and there you go. The people that are representing, the people at the top here, all right, these guys, they have more than, they don't need the community fund to cover this. They absolutely do not. They should have more than enough money to take care of whatever legal costs that they might be running into. This is not my problem. This is not your problem. But they're going to make it your problem. I disagree with it. I disagree with it fundamentally. Now, I'm going to vote no. I don't care how you vote. But if they have the freedom of speech, which we all just agreed that this is a thing for us, if you have the freedom of speech and the freedom of expression to put up a prop like that, then I have the freedom of speech and the freedom of expression to give you my viewpoint on it. I think that this is cheap theater. I think somebody got in trouble. Somebody doesn't want to pull money out of their own damn wallet to cover their own damn issue and say, well, you know what? The community fund is big. We have the validator mafia. We can effectively pass anything that we want. So why don't we just take it from there? It's only $600,000. And the fact that you could put that in writing, that it's only $600,000, that's a lot of money. How does this make Cosmos better? How does this bring value to the Cosmos? How does this reinforce that token? All this does is liquidate it. That's all it does for a problem that you had nothing to do with. So, again, I don't care how you vote. It's your business. But I have every bit of right to say whatever the hell I want to say about it, and there you go. And I think the only other real big, there were lots of little things in here, but I only have a few minutes to talk about this. There were a lot of things that I really had a problem with. One of the big things that I have are the signers of this prop right here. Honestly, Greg, look, I support your network. I've made videos on it. For God's sakes, I use it. All right, I am a big fan, and I support your network. But if this is so important to you, why don't you cover it yourself? Just saying. Why don't you cover it yourself? Why do you have to hit everybody else for it? This is not our issue. So with that, Belle, do we have any questions or comments, or should I just go ahead and carry on here?
Carry on. Actually, nobody's asked any questions yet.
All right. Well, that's a little stunning. I thought that would get some of you guys revved up there. Apparently, I was mistaken. Hey, we're still feeling out content for the lunchtime show. I thought this was a winner. I was obviously I missed. Anyway, guys, look, man, it's Prop 791. Read it up. See if you agree or disagree with it. If you stake Atom, look, man, you got the right to vote. From an educational standpoint, you need to monitor these things. And if you simply won't, I'll do it on your behalf. But if I have to do it on your behalf, you're going to get my opinion on it as well. I don't want to sway any votes. I just want to say that I'm allowed to have my opinion as well. All right, guys. So with that, we're going to take a very brief break. Again, trying to keep this structured. So we're going to be taking a 60-second break. I'm going to flip the screens here. We might talk a little bit Bitcoin, probably not, but I do want to talk about Shade. Silk launched, and I think we could maybe discuss this just a little bit. So appreciate your time. If you can give us 60 seconds, guys, we will be right back. Thank you for indulging me for a 60-second break. Guys, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. So we're going to push on a little bit here. And by the way, I would love some feedback. All right, we're still kind of feeling out the lunchtime show, but we want to bring you guys something that is engaging. So if you have an idea or something you would like us talking about that we're simply not, please let us know. Comments are below. Bella at ThePodocasts.com. We are not hard to get a hold of. That's what I'm saying. All right. So we're moving over here to Shade app just a little bit because guess what happened, guys? Silk launched. Round of applause. I'm not even going to hit. This is what I'm going to hit for that.
Pain and that hurt. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
It's Silk, and we've been talking about this thing for a good long time, and Silk finally did launch. So, for those not familiar with Silk, Silk's stable token that's going to exist over on Shade. We need stable tokens. All right, we do. Every sailor needs a map. Every ship needs a lighthouse. You need a point of reference, particularly in the crypto world. No stable tokens. Honestly, you have no idea what anything is worth. So we do need stable tokens in crypto, and I'm kind of a firm believer that we should have stable tokens on the major networks. I'm not crazy about wrapped stable tokens. They're a point of vulnerability. So I don't particularly care for wrapped stable tokens, but as I'm heavy in Cosmos, I have to deal with what's here. Now, there's been some talk about native USDC. It's coming to the Cosmos. When we do, that's great. It'll still have the same value. It's hopefully pegged to $1. Stable tokens, hopefully pegged to $1. But it'll remove a point of vulnerability, and I'm all about that. Now, Shade, Silk over here is kind of a different animal because it's kind of a different stable token. Now, I'm not going to get completely into all of the nuance, but the one thing that I don't like about Silk is the fact that this one has 2 points of vulnerability. Now, it's a native token to this DEX, which I happen to agree with. I like that, all right? Keep it secure. Keep it in-house. You can maintain the value. But the way this token is designed two ways. One, it's got it's asset backed, and in this case, I tried to pull it up, but their site's not really working right now. It worked yesterday; it's not working right now. But part of this is collateralized with a whole bunch of native currencies, including the U.S. dollar, the Canadian dollar, the Japanese yen is in there. There's several fiat currencies that are backing this up, and the other portion is that it's backed up by tokens. Now, that is 2 points of vulnerability for one stable token. So I'm just saying it makes me a little bit edgy when I am counting on something to maintain a value, but it could fail not one but two ways. So I have kind of an issue with that. For what it's worth, this is not particularly a silk thing. I feel the same way about USK. There's a reason that you don't hear me talking about Kajira a whole lot for the same reason. This is a token with multiple points of vulnerability, and I just don't like that. Crypto, at least smart crypto investing in my opinion, a lot of mine revolves around stable tokens, and I'm nervous each and every time I put them up, each and every time, because, again, these points of vulnerability and the fact that we have seen UST utterly collapse. We've seen USDD that was hovering around 94 cents for months and months and months. We were all here for the USD almost collapsed. It almost took everything. So we almost lost USD. We almost lost Tether. We almost lost everything. And that would have been, the Jim Morrison would have rose from the grave just to sing "This is the end," because that would have been just double tough. So as much as I see the need for stable tokens and for my own personal investment strategy, they're absolutely required. But I want to try to find the ones that offer the least exposure to me, and I'm not sure that Silk is the one. Now, for what it's worth over here, man, they are definitely going at it, all right? They want to get money in. They are trying as hard as they can to build this token up to make it that central point of reference on this DEX. I agree with that. I'm just not sure I agree with the token. So what they're doing over here is obviously, look, man, they are incentivizing the hell out of these pools. Anything that says Silk next to it is going to be big. And they are pulling in a lot of other stable tokens. Now, what does that do for them? It mitigates their risk. That's what it does. You want to pair with the stable, and they're effectively pairing stables and stables. If you look right here, you see Silk and IST. IST is kind of all over the place. You can get it pretty easily. You can get it really easily here on Osmosis. You can pull it off from Crescent, and it's an IBC type of token, so it'll go from point to point. You don't even have to bridge it. You can literally just put it out in your wallet. So they're pulling in the IST. Now they're also pulling in USDT Axelar. So and incentivizing it at 78%. So we're already talking about some really good-sized pools that are forming up on a token that just launched. All right, this thing is brand new. Now, they can incentivize the hell out of them because what they're paying you is in shade. That's their token. That's the DEX token. So they can do here what Crescent is doing, what Osmosis is doing. So the model works for them, but it's all going to come down to how much do you believe in shade? How much do you believe in the token? Because right now they are minting a bunch of it. And it's kind of you can kind of see it in the in some of the crazy price action that they've been having over here. The build up, the lead up, the pump, the dump, everything else that happens with the newer token like that. Plus the fall off right here at this point. Now some of that has to do with Bitcoin. Some of it has to do with the fact that they're minting a lot of it. But they are going above and beyond to get your money onto this DEX. They're going nuts. Look, Silk IST 143, USDT 78%, Silk Axelar, USDC Axelar 140%. I mean, they really, really, really want your money over here. Now, this is where it's tough for me, Bell. By the way, this is where it gets tough for me. You know that I'm a big fan of stable. If I can get into a decently priced stable, I'm there. I'm putting money over on Crescent at 11%. You want to know my funny offshoot one? USDC Gravity Bridge and Axelar on Osmosis at 16%. I'm getting 16% on Axelar and Gravity Bridge, stable pairing over on Osmo because they need to build that pool. People need a place to swap. This is still an AMM. We all know how it works here. And if there's no pool, then the slippage is too high. And if the slippage is too high, the tokens are going to leave. They're going to go somewhere where the slippage is not as high. So, yes, these DEXs are going to compete to keep your money on them. And that's a good thing for us. It's a great thing as investors because we want to get the best deal that we possibly can. So when DEXs compete, man, it works out real good for you. Now, the problem with this is that this is a this is a confusing DEX, man. Look, if you are not familiar with Secret Network, you're going to struggle here. You're going to fumble here. You are going to have some problems. So Emery called it the troglodyte DEX, and I happen to agree with this, man. This is for the people who really want to get lost, for the people who really want to disappear from crypto, because these turned into SNP25 tokens, which are even better because SNP20 was more or less vulnerable. So these all became SNP25s. So if you do need to disappear from crypto, this is the place to go. But the problem is that you are dealing with smaller liquidity pools, a smaller AMM, very limited in what you can trade. So it gets a little bit tough. You're always going to give something up. But for those who are really just kind of, oh, here you go. Look at Composite. I didn't even see that one. I was looking through here earlier. I didn't even see that. Composite at 226.2%. Composite, Bell, at 226% if you want to pair it up with Silk. So I got to ask, Bell, how comfortable are you pushing your money over here onto Secret Network to take advantage of these big APRs to earn shade? How comfortable are you, and how comfortable are you with Silk?
It's more than a little intimidating. So, no, not really.
Not
Not
your
really,
thing.
no.
Well, I have a very high risk tolerance. Now, it kind of puts me in a weird place because I want to have risk tolerance in me making proper investments, not is my stable token going to collapse. And that's kind of what you're inviting. That's kind of what you're inviting here on this. Now, I'm not passing any kind of judgment. You do you, bro. They did make one little change real quick. These are no longer APRs; they're APYs. They're doing that because it makes the we've covered APR to APY all the time. Compound interest, most powerful force in the universe. We've covered this up and down. They do it to bump that number. It's theater. I mean, you can APY anything. It doesn't have to be. Just put the money back in, and oh look, you're an APY now. It's not real hard, but they did change that from the time that they launched. I didn't catch it until I saw the Jackal Pool because I moved some money over here on Jackal Pool when I was making videos. Not much. I got $500 over here, so we're not talking about a huge amount. But I moved it over, and I was like, no, that was like 55%, and now it's 80. I was like, oh, okay, they APY'd it. Again, it's theater, but there you go. All right, Bell, I know I had to cut this one short today. Quick, if we have any questions.
All right. So first question, does the new prop for Jackal extend the current one or create a new one? If so, what happens to the current one?
Well, one was a signaling prop. So that's basically saying, hey, we're going to do this. No, there's only one prop up right now. It was listed. We put it in the Discord. Go and vote if you're a Jackal holder. You know what? Vote your conscience. I'll leave it there. Bell, carry on.
Renegade, any good news on AMP, or is this token done for good?
Man, anything that can happen in crypto will happen in crypto, and I mean that, up, down, both ways. I would love to say AMP's going to pull it out, but, I'm not going to say it's going to die either. I've given my viewpoint on this. If you guys still want me to do AMP videos, I'll make AMP videos, man, but I promise you I'm the voice of reason. All right, I'm not the hype guy. I'm the voice of reason. This is the way I see it. But if you'd like to know my opinion on that, I could certainly do 8 minutes. Nothing. This is crypto, man. Nothing is dead and buried. UST still exists. I'm just saying. Bell, please carry on.
Berms, how is the backing spread out? Is it even between all currencies and tokens? Any idea what tokens are backing Silk?
I haven't. I want to show you, and I think it'd be better if I just show you, but it's not working. Bonds isn't working. Silk isn't working. Borrow isn't working. By the way, they're going to be a borrowing lending platform. I actually think that's pretty cool. I can't wait to really take this apart. So I can't take it apart, but I will. Bell, carry on. Quick.
Microman, when CBDCs eventually arrive, will they make it to the DeFi and become the new stable coins, or will the privacy concerns be too great?
I don't think you'll ever see CBDCs out here, man. This is the antithesis of CBDCs. Carry on, Bell.
MJ, any interest in the Flix token bootstrapping today?
I'm glad you brought that up because, yes, I just don't have time to talk about it right now, man. We got to keep it short, and I got to jump on another meeting. I think it's neat, though, and I'm happy to explore it with you guys. Bell, carry on.
That was the last question for this stream.
Perfect. All right, guys. Look, we're going to be back tonight. We're bringing you another something special tonight. So please join us again tonight at 1800. I have got to run though. Belle, talk us up. Take us out.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who joined us on this afternoon lunch stream, we cannot say thank you guys enough. As Scott just said, we are going to be back at our normal time of 6 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight. In between now and then, if you guys have any more comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to shoot Scott and I an email, scott@thepodcast.com or bella@thepodcast.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we're going to be back on tonight, and we'll see you then.
We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all one word, for all of our most current content.